G'day guys, Clint here, and I'm back at my place, and I have some very exciting news. I finally have my Rotary Scissors. So I've been talking about this for a while, and I put the call out on my Instagram for some advice and some help. I was looking at either buying a Stihl, a Plank, or a Shindauer, I think it is. I'm actually looking to buy all of them and then have a bit of a play, but I'm a very short notice guy, and I was able to get this yesterday. This is the Stihl. Now, a few things to note. I paid for this. I haven't been given this. I got it from the Stihl shop at Fulham, and they were super helpful. Lisa managed to organise it all over the phone and go pick it up. I haven't used it, I haven't turned it on, I don't know how it works. I've never seen one used. So this is going to be you guys experiencing the product with me for the first time. All right, so this here has like a push down opening thing to protect the blades, and probably to protect your hands as well. I'm guessing that's nice and sharp. So that comes off, and that's obviously your blades. I'm gonna guess one of them stationary and the other one moves. Now, these are two separate parts that we've purchased. This is a Stihl KM 94 RC, so it's a petrol. It's, I guess, the power end. I'm assuming it has a proper name. You'll hear people talk about straight shaft and bent shaft. This is obviously a straight shaft. And as I said at the start, I've never used these products, so I'm kind of working this out on the fly. So I guess that just goes in like that. Makes sense. Tighten that up. That's just a half turn. Now, it's got fuel in it. I'm pretty sure Stihl shops always have their products pre-fueled, ready to go. It feels heavy-ish, but pretty well balanced. I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit low for me if we're trying to cut like that. It feels like I need to kind of bend my knees to make sure that that stays flat. If you have a look, like that's flat on the ground now, whereas if I wanted to hold that, even with my arms fully extended, so I think there's going to be a bit of that. I can only imagine what it would be like being even taller than me. What have we got here? Probably the instructions. Hey. Comes with a free necklace. Nice. There's a spanner in that one. All right, so we'll get them out of the way. You probably don't want to be part of this, Lloyd, because you might get chopped up. So that's Lloyd. He's the dog that does poos on my lawn and my stairs. So today I'm going to edge my lawn with this Stihl Rotary Scissors device, and I'm going to run the rotary mower over it. I've just got an old Victor mower here. It's the mower that I've had for 10 years. We've mowed kikuyu a lot, so hopefully it doesn't drop any kikuyu on here. And as per Simon Rice's instructions, I just need to start high and kind of reassess. There's different lengths of lawn. Where Duffy's standing, it's quite long. And then obviously different over there, it's not quite as long. All I'm trying to do is just take the top off again and just keep that canopy low enough that the lawn's growing. We did oversow some of the dead patches when Simon was here on Saturday. So that's 5 days ago. The seed that we're using, Lawn Hub seed, is a kind of 7 to 10 day germination. We have had some glorious weather, as you can see now. You obviously can't feel it, but it's 31 and it's just beautiful in Adelaide today. So I have irrigated this twice today. It's still running on the 4 cycles a day for 5 minutes. I think I'm overwatering it at the moment. I actually turned it off for the rest of the day today because I wanted to mow and I didn't want it to be too wet. Anyway, let's get into it and see if I can embarrass myself with this new Stihl mowing device. This little bit here is growing on some render. I wasn't sure how aggressive those scissors were going to be. I had this concern that it was almost going to be like a metal whippersnipper cord and just destroy the render. but it's actually done a really clean job and it hasn't done any damage from, well, there's no damage that wasn't there before. So obviously being able to run it across the top of this steel edge is good. I'll see if I can replicate that along the rest of it. Because the ryegrass is so long, it's actually leaving a lot of ryegrass, so I'm probably gonna have to blow that in to the middle of the lawn and then mow it up. So I am very, very impressed with this and what it can do. I obviously only had a tiff tuff before and not a ryegrass. And if you have a look at this area here, this is the tiff tuff that would have just existed on its own. And all I've done is run that rotary scissors across the top of that steel edge and it's cut that down. Now that's really thatchy still, and I can probably get in there a bit more and cut it. I might just try that now. But it just cuts the grass so effortlessly, and you don't have this like ping, 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 kind of like stones flying up and whippersnipper cord hitting shit, and like, it's just a really effortless and easy device to use. It does sit low and I'm uncomfortably bending over. And I don't know if there's an attachment for that or if I'm holding it wrong. I'm sure someone will be able to comment in the video and just tell me what's going on, but I'll see if I can get it a bit lower on there. How's this gonna go? One of the other things that I'm finding that's great about this device over a whippersnipper is that it's easier to control where it sits. So when I'm sitting around a sprinkler head like this, with a whippersnipper, because the cord's spinning, sometimes the cord will take extra traction on the grass and drag the device, and then you're hitting things. With this, it's so weighted at that end that it actually requires you to move it. It's not ever gonna move itself because it's just shimmying. I think this is going to definitely save me from damaging any sprinklers moving forward. And my only concern I think I'm going to have is if you're generally edging by cutting down on turf instead of across the top of turf, like if you have a look here, like theoretically I should be cutting kind of that way to try and leave an edge, whereas I'm cutting that way. I'm finding that this area here isn't cutting, but I think if I cut low like I did further back there, we're going to be definitely very happy. Now, obviously, I've been able to use this against metal, no worries. Concrete was one of the concerns that I had. Now, it doesn't chip. I'm not sure what kind of damage it's doing to the blade, and I'm sure I'm probably doing this wrong, but it feels just as effortless to cut against concrete, so cutting there, or sitting it on top of the concrete as it does on the steel. So I'm not gonna cut the edges as low as I probably will when we're doing it, you know, at its proper. The reason is I don't want to chop the ryegrass so short that it's back to the roots. Like, it's still a young plant, and it's really just getting it down a bit lower. All right, so I've edged very quickly. I might just do that sprinkler. Actually, the mower should do that. So excuse the garden as well. I haven't been weeding because bluntly, I have a lot of other things to do and it hasn't really been that high on the list of priorities. So that's the Stihl, what is it? KM 94RC with a rotary scissor attachment on it. I would happily, like that, my back's not sore. That was quicker than having to mow with a whippersnipper. I didn't have to replace any blades, I didn't have to replace any string, I didn't have to replace any cords, and I don't know what the maintenance is, if I should be cleaning these now. I probably should be cleaning them now. If anyone from Stihl's watching this video, just let me know. Otherwise, it's just gonna hang up in the shed or sit on the shed floor. I'll now get the blower out, blow all of that. So you would have seen there's a really long lengths of ryegrass that I've cut off. I'm gonna try and blow them into the middle and mow it up, and then Mr. Duffman can start his long weekend. All right, I think that will do. Oh my God. So, I can mow my own lawn. You've now seen that. I don't need Simon Rice, or Mr. Simon Rice to you. Let's have a look at what we took off. Yeah, so not much at all. Maybe half or a third of a catcher has been removed. Okay, so we've only taken off a third of the catcher. I probably went longer than I needed to, but I think you can't scalp rye and have a successful return. Like, it's just too young still. So now I'm hoping the next mow will be with the cylinder, with the unicorn. I can start crossing it up. I can understand why it can't be when I'm mowing it. It just feels so fragile still. But yeah, that's it. So I guess to summarize, these mowers move a lot lighter than the cylinder mowers. The Stihl with the rotary blade is the business. And ryegrass, I'm happy with. I think I'm gonna keep the rye. Obviously I haven't seen it in its, in its peak form, and I haven't seen it through a summer, but I like it. It feels lush, and it almost feels like an English lawn. I don't know if you're seeing that, Duff, but like, it's a longer lawn. Like, it seems like the kind of lawn that in England they'll let grow longer. And it might be seasonal, because over there you obviously can't grow summer grasses because it's winter every day. I might be generalizing incorrectly. I have a habit of doing that. I guess that's highlighted one of the key advantages of using a rotary mower over a cylinder mower, is it's like a vacuum, and it's managed to suck up any remaining dog poo, rocks, bark, weeds, mushrooms, beer cans, plastic, water pistols, you name it, this has sucked it up. So thanks for tuning in. That was hopefully of benefit to you. I'm really happy with how the lawn's going, and I'm really looking forward to it thickening up. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you have, thanks for following along. I know that you have a lot of options on YouTube, so choosing us, I do appreciate it. And if you like the video, give it a like. It'll help us reach some more people. Short of that, have a wonderful life. Have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful day. What are you doing, Connie?
Hopping.
Hopping. And yeah, if you can just be as happy as Connor hopping, then you're doing pretty well. Keep it green.